This is a direct message to those who call themselves educated, thinkers, leaders, and anyone who's ever taken a paycheck and believed they understood the system. If you can read between the lines, you already know this message is not just words. It's a signal, part of something bigger. This is a real challenge, a test of intelligence, integrity, and depth. Because while the surface world, the so-called 3D world, has its place without characters and morals, it all collapses. The world is on a stage right now, a kind of World Series of consciousness. And the irony is that most don't even know they're in the game. So here's the real question. Can you evolve past labels, past ego, and past systems, and still live with principles when no one's watching? How you interpret this message says everything about you, not me. I'm just a messenger. And as for who I work for, well, I guess that's for you to figure out.
So we'll talk about creation and how everything can be a part of a beautiful story if you are seeing things in the bigger picture. It makes it easier to go into fantasy world, and if I put something out there that I'm working on a bigger project with bigger people and people that I know have the same massive heart, then it's easier to deal with things, right? And that helps us all. And sharing our story helps us all. So let's just go into imagination. And where we're at, as far as where I'm at and how I'm gonna piece this story together. So I'd say right now we're getting, we've made a stand, but there's a war, and it's a different type of war. And the funny thing is, I can see the wall. And that relates back for me to the joke that I have with Amazon and Kevin Hart that I still won't even tell anyone, not even my own husband. So who cares? Because I can just give it to him one day in person. Because it doesn't matter. Because I have my own timelines on everything and nobody knows shit. So I'll keep that secret. And then basically, right now, so I look around and there's a bunch of fucking bugs everywhere. It's not the prettiest. So I think Lord of the Flies, because that reminds me of grade 11 for me. I was obsessed with learning about metaphors and Shakespeare and writing. And I can remember I was actually a half decent writer. I just forget how to write. So once I get that ability back, then I'll be okay. And then it doesn't matter, and then I can get a lot more help, because the whole point is the whole reason I say 8 years is because I want to write more people into the book, right? So I want to add more depth to each character and each person, as well as the scene, so that it becomes more, right? So the more I see of the earth and the planet, then I can add more elements into it. And I believe my friends should be a part of it. So right now I'm just starting to see who everyone is, at least for my world, right? And everybody creates to create their own world, and that's pretty cool. And we all collide at the times that we need to, and what's happened is we've all just kind of taken it for granted, and that's why we're in a pandemic. And like I said, I have everything documented of calling when this would happen, and I feel like I've created it. At least in my world I have, and that's fine by me. I didn't on my own. I don't think that. That would be arrogant. That's cocky. Can't do that. You have to see your friends and appreciate them for all their hard work, because they're laughing their asses off too for theirs. And that's the beauty of it. Can't admit that shit out loud before. Oh my god, no, not until you proved yourself. So I got that far, that I could at least say that proudly. And that's what drives me every day, is that now the only thing that's weird is that I don't have dreams at night anymore, which is kind of weird. So I get why, you go to Inception and Leonardo DiCaprio in that movie, and then that makes me think of that middle state when you're kind of still in between the dream worlds, but you have to connect to the now. So I get that. However, it's just so exciting because you're still fighting for something so much bigger, and you have a particular end goal that is but it's messing you up with the timelines, because you every time you think you're closer, in the real world, something in your subconscious kicks your ass, right? And it comes back up, and then you have to deal with that. But you have to learn to like go with the flow, because that goes to the bigger picture. And that's the most beautiful thing, is that when everything's creation, it's just so much easier not to be stressed out and then not live in anger and anxiety. However, the truth is, those things at times those are the signals for you to be aware that you're not where you need to be just yet. So when you can align, your spiritual journey with your financial journey, with your family journey, with your adventure journey, all of those things, your beauty, when it can all connect, when you can have all 12 categories, there's a lot of bugs. When you can have all 12 categories working, then that's when you have freedom. But you have to really conquer all 12 categories, and that's kind of the quest that I've been on myself. And I say I just started at Frodo. I was a Smeagol before for the longest time, when I really compare myself, and they say don't compare yourself, but you have to compare yourself to something. That's a bunch of bullshit. At least it's not comparing, it's more drawing like superpowers from other people who've already done it, right? You admire them for doing it already. Like I do try to envision, what it would have been like to go through other people's shoes. I do that all the time, because that gives me courage and strength, and it honors, what they did. And then I'm a messenger. It's my responsibility when I get a message to get that message out. And if at this point a bunch of people that I've consider the smartest people in the world, if they're not paying attention at this point, then they're all dummies. And we're on the day where I could say that I would be disappointed in them. That I could say, you know what, guys, I guess I'm in this too. And I'm proud of that. Because the truth is, I've seen you every step of the way. Every step of the way I've seen you, and very clearly, and I've documented you very well. And it's a give and take, right? I have to reach out and say who I need, and at the same time I have to get out the message of who is whatever. It's this weird process. I know who I am or what I was meant to do. I'm just not sure on what the hell is how that works. I just want to have the conversations, because I understand it based on the feeling. I understand it based on the body stuff. I understand it that superheroes are real. I get it. There are the ones we're taking over the planet. I'm into that now. I still haven't watched Star Wars really, but I get the concept. I'm just bored easily. And it's not because those things weren't fantastic creations. It's because our brains get, taken over time, where we want more and more and more. And then, and then we panic. And that's why I said I panicked over, I thought every movie was already made. And it's no, we have to make every movie together always. And that's I can't even cast in who's who or what's what until I have a better idea. And I need to, I'm qualifying everyone right now. That's what I'm doing, because it's my show. It's my universe. You have to call it. I've protected the security in my head so well. There's I'm all day having fucking conversations with who I want to have conversations with when I want to have conversations with them. That I've managed to control all worlds, and that's cool. Except it's also very lonely at times. It's insanity in some other ways. So then you ask yourself, okay, well, am I really there yet, right? So then you think you are, and then you slip it, and the answer is you never fully get there. I don't think. I think if you think you always get there every day, then you stop being hungry, because there's always so much more to give, but we're entitled to a break at so many times too, right? So it's that's the whole point, that God would work 6 days and then rested and all that shit. But at the same time, how many centuries you gotta work before you can get a break? I think I'm entitled to a break now. And I think the only other people who understand that are the ones who have been working that hard for centuries too, and they woke up feeling the same way. They woke up going, this is stupid. This is a stupid plan. I don't want to be in this plan anymore. This was a crap plan. Right? I don't want to live in mediocrity. I don't think I have to, frankly, actually, now that I've been through all this bullshit. However, I know I'm the type of person that would never turn away from everything good that was given to me. I just can't do that. That's just not who I am. I have a big heart, and I'm not going to stop giving. I just want to give more. And I want to work with people who want to give more because I need their talents. Because I ADD out of everything. It's like I need somebody, like, I need the team to keep me on track. They're doing it anyway, but through all these weird signals and, you know, that shit. But, like, you know, somebody in real life just doing it for me is easier, frankly. And then I can spend time doing things that are fun because I haven't, you know, really got to be in the present moment of experiencing the things, you know, all these things that I've done that I don't remember doing. What's the point? And it makes me sad. I'm sorry to a lot of people. It's like my prom. I don't remember it at all. I know I went. Like, I know that. I was talking about that to my husband the other day. It's like, I know I was there, and then I couldn't remember where we went for the after party, and then I remembered it being a friend's place, and then that's all I got. And that's it. So without those pictures, if I had never come across those pictures, I would have never seen who I was. But I know who I am in my soul. It's why I feel things, I think, more than most people, is because I didn't have that memory, I think. It made me create more. But it's like the glimpses of memories. But then you realize, like, most people right now are kind of doing the same thing anyway. I'm no different. Because I've been working on this particular thing for a lot longer than most people, I just held on to something a lot longer. So right now is the moment where I'm that teenage girl again, where I said I'm a bratty kid. I'm about my daughter's age, you know, back when I first was introduced to Tony Robbins in the first place. And then I said, yeah, I think I want to be like that guy. And then I said, no, I want to be that guy. What's the difference? Both. Meaning you respect them so much that you want to make them proud. That's what it really is. Those are the people, you know, I look around at the organization, like ClickFunnels, and the truth is, you know, 4 people woke me up on day 6 in a way that I wasn't expecting to, really. Like that combination of Russell, who was telling me finding the who's, and I related to him and that made sense, and then seeing Steven's more wild, energetic side. And then, you know, Jim was just in the trailer and he was just a cool guy with a good sense of humor. And Julie was, like, she wouldn't even show that, like, I didn't even see her yet. And you know, and I just liked her. And I was like, okay, these people are like opposite, like they're the same as me. And there's so much, they have so many talents I don't have. So which is opposite. Like, I'm not good at any of these things right now. I was kind of relating a little bit. I started to relate to them and then went, wait, maybe I am good at those things. So at first I thought I didn't have any of those things. And then I started to think I did. And then I started to remember that I once had other talents that I completely forgot about. I'd sold myself short so many times. I let so many people dim my light. I let so many people tell me that I wasn't good enough. And I believed them. And then I went into self-isolation, basically, last June. And I'm coming out now. Because I already, like, have achieved what I needed to achieve on that level. And then the money follows. That's how it works, not the other way around. And if I didn't get here first, I couldn't have allowed the blessings of that. It's been a long time coming of wanting to receive gifts. My stepfather would abuse me, get me gifts. And I see that same pattern really with the world today in general, right? We just, you know, our kids are misbehaving, they're bratty, they're not listening, and we're trying to buy them off instead of teaching them how to have more morals and principles and be good people. And because that's what's most important to me. That's me. That's what I believe at my core and my gut, is that I believe in good and the greater good and doing the right thing, and I've stayed true to that. So, you know, as much as I've fucked up, I'm proud of every fuck up because it's made me a stronger person. And I know where I was coming from realistically, and I know that I never intended to hurt anyone, and I don't think most people do. And it's why, like I said, my stepfather, who, you know, sexually abused me, he was sexually abused. Nobody helped him and changed that. And you often wonder if we could really talk about the things that were on people's mind and not make people feel like they're an outcast for them. Because there's no more excuses, right? We're equal now, especially in this pandemic. Make money off your phone. Social media doesn't have to be a scary thing. It was funny that in the hospital, the one doctor who I did like, it kept referring to it as just business. but I think it's a little more than that, because it's how I found my friends, and it's how my friends will find me, and they'll find me when they need to, and I'll find them when I need to, and that's just how this works. They get it, I get it, and both sides of it feel it sucks at times. Like, nobody lives in like pretend land too, where it's always good. Like, it's not like that, because it's a lot of work and it's tiring and it's exhausting. And there's sometimes where you feel like, what the hell am I doing? This is stupid. And then you feel lonely, and then your emotions go like this all the time. You're like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I am a whack job. Some people can't handle that pressure, so they turn to something else, right? A lot, like commonly rock stars and celebrities and people are businessmen that get into money, go into cocaine and drugs, and because they can't handle the pressure of fame, right? And I don't want that on me. I don't want that. So I said, I'm not doing it that way. So I told them to fuck off, because I want my peace, because I've seen how damaging those things can be, and it doesn't interest me. I've already been down that road, and it destroyed me in a way, and I'm so blessed that it happened then to make me as strong as I am, because I know who I have to help, and I'm responsible for, helping a number of people. So I have to now get out of my comfort zone and become the person I need to be, because I'm gonna have to help a select number of people at that time, and I get clear images of who I'm working with and who I'll help and who will help me, and it's a give and take, and that's what's cool about it, because I respect them and they respect me, and everybody respects each other's privacy, and it's this beautiful game of it's not a secret. It's not that. It's just that it's been made that we haven't been allowed to be ourselves and have true freedom, and then you're confused, so your ego gets mixed in there too, and then you do more and more and more, and then you go, what the hell, and then you black out and do stupid things, right? It's, I guess, no one's innocent here. No one's innocent here, and that's fine. There's no one at the table pretending to be, and that's the beauty of it. And that's why you can meet these people in person, and it can be just perfect. You can talk about it or not talk about it. It's that cool. However, I'm kind of a person who likes to talk about it, but I'm also like more like do it. Like, what are we doing here? And then you just get to like live out all those days, and it's, hey, you want to do this? Yeah. Like, I love Halloween. I love dress up. I love parties. I love people, and I miss all of it. And I want it back. I just don't want it with shitty people. Like, my parties will be the best, let me tell you that. I can make a guest list. And my friends. That's cool. I can take every label. I don't need a label. And I'll take every label just to help break the other labels. That's the whole point. That's why, like, it sucks that I lost my license. I feel trapped and alone, but there, like, at times. But if I think about the greater good and the bigger picture here, realistically, I just keep documenting. We keep talking about it. I keep becoming more successful, and more injustice will come out of that. Or more justice will come out of somebody saying, "Wait a minute, that's not right. Why are we doing that to people?" And that's like a win, right? Because then it won't happen to somebody else. And why do I wait on things too? It's because I'm just dealing with so much other bullshit. You can only deal with so much bullshit at a time. So it's like, how much bullshit I'm going to deal with today? Because you have to deal with the minimum. You got to deal with the bullshit so that your tomorrow's better. And you have to enjoy today. So you got to do both. And that's what work is. And that's what healing is. And that's what fun is. And that's what life is. And again, that goes back into those three components. You have to have all of it. And the reality is sometimes you're going to have to put a little more pressure, on your relationship per se. Like you have to take a little bit of a step back, right? Sometimes you have to do things for you, but that's where your loved ones have to understand what you're working on if you're focused. But at the same time, you have to remember too, that what's the greater picture here, and you have to. You might not be around them as much, but it's the energy when you're around them that counts. That's the difference. So if you're limited right now on your ability to see somebody else or be with somebody else or bond again with your child or anything like that, or you need your own healing and maybe you need your own space. I've noticed that for myself. I need that time alone and that isolation. I really do. Whereas my whole life I was always around people, right? Like I was trying to fill that need by making sure that I was never alone, and that's dangerous because what happens is every time I was alone I would binge eat, I would do something bad, I'd hurt myself. Like it was when you're alone and you feel the need to hurt yourself or be reckless or take like I said, taking drugs and doing all of these things, you make bad decisions and you do stupid shit. And that's not balance. You can't do it like that. That doesn't work. But when you're in a place of gratitude, when you're in a place of, okay, I'm a human, I make mistakes, I fuck up, and you're like living, and you just live, and you're like, fuck you, I'm not living by your rules, and you go out and you do what you want to do, that's where, honestly, it is fun, and making money is a beautiful thing, and you know what, the people that have worked hard deserve it, and we do deserve nicer cars and nicer things because we're working our asses off all day, because we also know that we can live without it. You have to know you can live without it, because if you weren't something with it, the line in Cool Runnings, like a gold medal, if you're not whole without the medal, then you don't deserve the medal. That's the truth. I don't want a participation trophy. I'm not interested in that shit. I love the gratitude and the appreciation, and that's why I continue to give it every day. And I use my Instagram as a way to get out messages, as a way ask for help for certain things. So sometimes it's a bit mix of both. Facebook is a different platform for different reasons, and then I document things here for a different reason, and then it went on to YouTube for a different reason. It all had a reason, and half the time, sometimes I didn't know what the reason was. Sometimes it's for me, because I lose my memory and I slip in and out, but it's getting clearer now. So the clearer my memory becomes and the sharper my brain comes, well, I don't know. That's why I need my friends, because that's kind of cool, because this is all new territory for me. Like, this is brand new, right? So now I'm me in this, and I have to, it's like find a team thing, and it's neat.